Please like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my latest video has come. And to learn more and to find a video relevant to you, please do check out my videos list.
Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend, astrologer and guide Irfan. Once more with you from your very own channel, Astro Assurance. In various areas of our life, money becomes very important. Though money can't buy us mental peace, it may not be able to buy us loyalty, it may not be able to buy happiness. However, money can definitely be a vehicle to be able to support these areas in life. For example, if you want happiness in life, then if your children are doing well, then you will be happier. To ensure that your children are doing well, you may need to support them financially so that they may be able to get the educations, they may be able to go to good universities, good institutes, and they may be able to pursue the education in an area which they want to achieve their higher qualifications in and then take their careers forward. Or they may want to do business and they may look at you as one of the investors or even the key investors to be a part of their business. If you want to ensure that you are happy in your later life, in your retired life, then also money becomes very important. It becomes a key resource for you, because for your daily expenses and sudden areas which may come up, whether it's health or some function in the family or somebody needs some support, some surgery needs to be done, then too you need to have enough resources to be able to sustain. And if such an event suddenly comes where you have to part with a large amount of money, you need to still have enough to be able to keep sustaining in the future also. And you may also want to look at that even after you, when you are no more, your family continues to sustain because you have properly taken care of your investments. And so, in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is that your financial security is the key to a lot of results in your life, to a lot of areas in your life. Now, what is meant by financial security? Financial security doesn't mean only money. It means having enough assets or enough resources to be able to sustain you in an honorable manner of your daily expenses or even sudden untoward incidents that may come up. You should be able to sustain yourselves by virtue of having these resources. These resources can be in the form of cash, money. It can be in the form of jewelry, diamonds, gemstones, anything that you have accumulated. It can be in the form of property that you have accumulated as assets. It could be in the form of some investments you have made, speculative investments you have made in the stock market, in the mutual funds, or it could be in the form of your investments in some businesses. And from that you get regular returns. So one of the key areas of financial security is the returns that you need to be able to get regularly. If you build a property and once you retire, you can't sell the property and then you will use all the money up. You should be able to keep the property yet get enough returns from the property by virtue of, say for example, rents, that you should be able to sustain your expenses and save some of it. Only then can you call yourself as being financially secure. Now, it is easier said than done that we all want definitely financial security, but how do we achieve it? So firstly, we achieve financial security by virtue of investments, savings, which means a certain part of our earnings, a certain part of what we acquire, we need to keep it aside. So one of the very good things or one of the very good practices moving towards financial security is to be able to work with percentages, which means come what may, try and live your life with percentages. This means that after a certain amount of lifestyle, a certain quality of lifestyle, above and beyond whatever you earn, you will keep all of that aside as savings or investments and long-term investments, secure investments, and you'll spread those risks also, you'll spread those investments also. But if you don't earn too high, then you can't keep the quality of life as one of the main criteria. There, working in percentages means even if you earn less, but you will have to ensure that at least 10% of your earning per month or per year, however you look at it, you will keep it aside, you will keep it as savings, or you will keep it as your investments. Without doing that, you may not be able to work towards financial security. Assuming that you will get financial security later on in life, so all my 30s I can enjoy, I can do whatever in my life. After my 40th year, I will think about financial security, is fraught with danger and fraught with high risks. There are so many people I know who thought that after their 40th year, they will accumulate more money and they will keep earning till they are in their late 50s, and then they will eventually retire. Today's time is where people are losing their jobs even in their early 40s, because new corporations, new companies are asking for younger and younger blood to be a part of the organizations. One of the key areas also is because there will be fresh ideas, there will be fresh energy, and they have those resources easily available. Young people who are coming out of colleges and institutes, they're fighting for the same jobs where people who are higher age are right now having those jobs. And these people, young people, are also ready for much lower salaries than the senior people. So of course there are advantages and disadvantages to use seniority. So organizations to a large extent are keeping a mix of young blood and old blood, or senior people in their team, but they are going for younger and younger people as the time goes. So the average age of an organization today, or people in the organization, is reducing every month or every year. So one should not be sitting on their haunches assuming that you will achieve financial security after you start accumulating money in your 40s. Your planning should start very, very early, so that you have more time to accumulate your assets, and so you have a higher chance that those assets will be of higher value for you, and they'll be able to sustain you better and for a long period of time. So that's the financial security part. But how do we look at financial security from astrology? So when you're looking into astrology, you need to look at it practically also, which means on one side you look at planning your life in terms of savings, in terms of investments. Secondly, using astrology to know where to make that investment. Say for example, if your 4th house is very, very strong, but your 5th house is not strong, then property is a safer bet, because the 4th house is about landed properties or physical properties like flats, or actual properties like a house or a bungalow or a villa or land assets. But if your 5th house is very strong, then this is more about speculative investments which you do, where you're investing money in a resource and expecting the returns to come month on month and to increase month on month, like rent from a property, or you are investing in stock markets and you're expecting returns to come to you, or in mutual funds. So you expect accumulation of that money or returns to come to you month on month or year on year. Property, on the other hand, there can be one period where 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, the property may escalate much faster. There may also be periods of stagnation where the property value is not going up much. So different perspectives, depending on whether it's a 4th house or your 5th house, which is very, very strong, you can make those investments accordingly. Now if your 5th house is not very strong but your 7th house is very strong, then you can look at businesses, investing in those businesses, not in mutual funds or investing in stock market, but in actual businesses, physical businesses, where there is a shop, there are assets in the shop. Whatever the shop is, depending on which planet is strong, of course you will invest there. So if it's a business, it should be a physical business where you can go and sit and give time to. So you need to look at combinations. If your 5th house is strong and your 2nd house is very strong, then speculative investments in stock market, in mutual funds, long-term investments can be good. If your 4th house is strong, 11th house is very strong, then physical assets like houses, flats, landed property may be very good. If your 7th house is very strong, your 2nd house is very strong, then businesses can be looked at. But if both the 4th house and the 5th house are not strong, then you should, and if you're looking at continuing to work till very late in life, whether you get high salary or low salary, some people think that whatever I will continue to earn some money, I'll never sit idle. Even if I have to work for maybe half of the money that I'm getting, I won't bother. I will wait for a good time to come, but I will never sit. I will continue to earn. So such people should have a good 6th house of service and a 2nd house of earnings. Then these people can continue to work and keep getting money. However, if your 6th house and 7th house are very strong, but your 4th house and 5th house are not very strong, then serving in business, which means you need to contribute some way or the other in business. Even if you're retired, you should show up at the shop, you should show up at that business for some time in a day, or at least 2 to 3 days in a week maybe, and show up, take small responsibilities, if not very high. Take some small responsibilities, answer some calls, speak to some customers, and just spend some time at your business, because that is important, because 6th house of service is also activated. Without serving, your business will not give you good returns. If your 5th house is very strong and your 11th house is very strong, then investing in some area in a speculative business with your friends. For example, your friend is doing some business maybe in some other city also, where you are not able to give physical time, which 7th house represents, then investing in a business which your friend has or your social network has, that can give you good returns if both your 5th house and your 11th house is very, very strong, because the 11th house is of your social contracts. It is also the house of gains, but it is an upachaya house which will give you gains over a period of time. So you need to look at the combinations which are working and you need to invest there. So wishing for security, financial security is important. But if you're wishing for financial security but investing in the wrong area, then it is fraught with risks. You are investing in long-term mutual funds or in stock market, but your 5th house is not strong at all, or in fact very weak. Then what will happen? You will keep putting your money there, expecting it to give you good returns over a period of time. Suddenly, even mutual funds have some risks attached to them. You may have to sustain with, or you may have to be okay with less returns. So why take risks? Deep dive into your horoscope, understand which area is giving you more financial security, is stronger, and invest in that area. Invest or focus your energies there, then only you can say you can have financial security and long-term financial security. So on one hand, look at your strongest houses between your 2nd house, 4th house, 5th house, 7th house, 11th house. These are key areas. Then if you want to continue to work, or you want to run your own office where you are the boss, you want to continue to work in an environment which is an official environment, like a corporate environment, where you're also doing service or doing business, then the 7th house and the 10th house have to be very, very strong, because here you are the CEO of a company, you're the managing director of the company, you are the one of the directors of the company. Then your 10th house has to be very strong, and your 6th house has to be strong of service, and your 7th house of business. So only when you're looking at these combinations, you will really know which area of your life, or which part of your life, or which area of investments will give you good returns, and then you should focus there. Also look at which are your strongest planets, which are the karakas of those areas, and then you should invest in that. For example, if you're looking at business and 7th house is very, very strong, 11th house is very strong, but if your Venus is weak, then investing in or doing business something related to Venus may not give you good returns. But if it's, for example, your Rahu is very strong, then indulging in electronics or anything related to electronics or domestic appliances which run on electrical energy becomes very, very important for us, or that becomes your focus area. If your Jupiter is very, very strong, then and your Venus is strong, then going for commodities, going even for agriculture can be very good for you. If on the other hand your Mercury is very strong, then investing in businesses where money is of the essence, where money is changing hands, where lending money, getting money, wealth management, consulting in financial matters, or running consultancy services for financial support, or consulting in financial matters, that becomes important. So look at which houses are very, very strong and move toward those houses. Look at which planets are strong, move toward those planets, and also look at which area of your life you are able to get more out of. So if your 30th dasha seems to be very, very strong, then don't spend too much money on your going out and spending money on yourself for holidays, because that could be the golden period of your life and you need to save more. So look at which is the most strong dasha and try and build your assets strongest in that dasha. If you have a strong dasha of a Venus and a Jupiter, and these are getting connected to the 4th house, then build assets. If they are getting connected to the 7th house, then invest money in business. If they are getting connected to the 5th house, then invest money in stocks. So look at the dasha period, look at the strongest planets, look at which houses are strong and move towards investments in that area and spread your investment. Also look at which part of your life you can invest more, which part of your life you may need to pull back. And always have liquid assets also set aside. Have some money assets which are kept in the bank, even for a few lakh. Try and keep some money as in the form of jewelry, especially if your 8th house is strong. If your sun is strong, then gold could be that. If Venus is strong, diamond could be that. If your sun is strong, then you can also look at, apart from gold, rubies and other jewelry connected to precious metals connected to sun. So depending on which planet is strong, which house is strong, you can also spread your investments accordingly. But financial security is key to your respect, to your dignity and your long-term well-being, and after your family also doing very well. So if your 8th house is strong, you may even invest some money in life insurance, where after your family can also get some returns out of it. Especially if your 5th and 8th house is strong, then investing some good money where you may spend more money in terms of your EMIs, even 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 rupees I'm talking about, but later on you may get good returns, can be a good bet. So friends, this is a tricky affair. This is an affair or area not to be ignored. Deep dive into your horoscopes, understand your strongest planets, understand your strongest houses, understand your strongest time period, the strongest dasha period, invest in that and secure your future so that you can have a more dignified life in the time to come. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me with the links given below. Until some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off.